He took a bag of money home, and that's when his life started to fall apart. There was no turning back after this point. He was done for. It all started when Mario was just an ordinary guy who lived in an ordinary house in the suburbs with his wife and kids. He had a good job, and everything seemed to be going well. But he always felt like something was missing. He felt like he wasn't living to his full potential. He had dreams and aspirations, but they were just that, dreams. He didn't have the courage to follow them. But one day, everything changed. Mario received a phone call from a friend who was in the business of buying and selling antiques. The friend told Mario about a rare coin collection he had found and asked if he wanted to invest. Mario didn't know much about coins, but he trusted his friend and decided to take a chance. When the shipment arrived, Mario was stunned. The collection was even more valuable than his friend had said. Mario felt like he had struck it rich, and his life would never be the same again. At first, Mario was careful with his newfound wealth, invested in real estate and stocks, and slowly built up a fortune. He was able to buy a bigger house in a better neighborhood and send his kids to private school. He felt like he had finally achieved the American dream. But as time went on, Mario became more reckless. He started spending money like it was no object, and soon his fortune began to dwindle. He was spending so much money that he didn't even care anymore. He was just trying to fill the void inside him. One day, Mario was driving home from a night out with some friends. He was drunk and didn't see the stop sign at the intersection. He T-boned another car and totaled his sports car. The other driver was okay, but Mario was badly injured and had to be taken to the hospital. When he came to, Mario was in shock. He looked down at his body and saw that he had broken both legs and both arms. He was in terrible pain and couldn't move. As the doctors worked to repair his broken bones, Mario couldn't help but think about how his recklessness had ruined his life. As the days turned into weeks, Mario became more and more depressed. He was stuck in the hospital bed and couldn't do anything for himself. He had to rely on the nurses to change his bandages and turn him over to prevent bed sores. He felt like he was a burden to everyone around him. As he lay there thinking about his life, he realized that he had made a lot of mistakes. He had cheated on his wife. He had neglected his kids. He had lost his fortune, and now he was broke and in debt. One day, Mario's wife came to visit him. She was crying and said that she didn't know how she could help him. Mario tried to reassure her, but deep down he knew that their relationship was over. He had ruined it. As time passed, Mario began to lose hope. He didn't think that he would ever be able to live a normal life again. He felt like he was trapped in his own personal hell. Then one day something happened that gave Mario hope. One of the nurses came into his room and told him that someone had been visiting him. Mario was confused because he couldn't remember anyone visiting him. The nurse told him that it was a social worker from the hospital who had come to see if he needed any help. Mario was hesitant at first, but he eventually agreed to meet with the social worker. The social worker was a kind woman who listened to Mario's story and then offered to help him. She helped him apply for disability benefits so that he could continue to pay for his medical care. She also helped him find a therapist to help him cope with his depression. Slowly but surely, Mario began to get his life back on track. It was a long and difficult process, but with the help of the social worker and his therapist, Mario was able to make progress. With his newfound support system in place, Mario began to focus on his recovery. He began to exercise so that he could regain his strength. He also began to eat healthier food so that he could heal faster. It was a long and difficult journey, but eventually Mario was able to make a full recovery. He was still disabled and would never be able to work again, but he was able to live a relatively normal life. He was able to move back in with his wife and kids, and he began to volunteer at a local charity. He also began to attend support groups for people with disabilities. And as the years passed, Mario began to feel like his life was finally getting back on track. He had a loving wife and kids, a supportive community, and a purpose in life. He was no longer the same person who had been in that car accident. He was stronger, wiser, and more grateful for life. Looking back, Mario knew that the car accident had been a blessing in disguise. It had forced him to take a hard look at his life and make some changes. He was no longer the reckless, irresponsible man he once was. He was a changed person, and he had a newfound appreciation for life. He understood that life was precious and that he should never take it for granted. He was grateful for every day that he had, and he tried to make the most of it. He knew that he had been given a second chance and he wasn't going to waste it. As the years passed, Mario continued to grow and change. He became a mentor to other people with disabilities, and he helped them to overcome their challenges. He also became an advocate for road safety, and he worked to raise awareness about the dangers of drunk driving. Mario's story is a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most difficult challenges. He is a true inspiration to everyone who knows him, and his story continues to touch the hearts of many. There are many lessons that can be learned from Mario's story. One of the most important lessons is to never take risks with your life. Mario's recklessness led to the car accident that changed his life forever. He could have easily avoided the accident if he had simply followed the rules of the road. Another lesson that can be learned from Mario's story is to never let your emotions get the best of you. Mario's grief and despair led him down a dangerous path. He started drinking heavily and driving recklessly. He was trying to numb the pain of his injuries and the loss of his fortune. Finally, Mario's story teaches us the importance of seeking help when we need it. Mario was too proud to ask for help at first, but eventually he reached out to the social worker and his therapist. This decision saved his life, because he was able to get the help he needed to recover both physically and emotionally. In conclusion, Mario's story is a powerful reminder to always make responsible decisions, to never let our emotions control us, and to always seek help when we need it. By following these lessons, we can avoid the mistakes that nearly cost Mario his life and instead live happy and fulfilling lives. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.